Hey guys, I wanted to talk first about some modifications to the AP curriculum and exams that have been announced by the College Board. So I was very concerned when they announced that we weren't going to be meeting in person at all for fourth quarter about getting through everything. And then, of course, pretty much everywhere they started having, cancellation of school and all that kind of thing. So I'm actually more encouraged now because the AP came out and gave us this information right here, which I've zoomed in on some of the other columns. I'm going to talk about the other columns you can't see or that are starred in a little bit. But for electricity and magnetism, they said these units, there we go, these units, 1 through 3, we are doing. What are those, Mr. Erico? I'll tell you in a minute. All right. And then units 4 through 5 are nixed, whatever those are. And then for mechanics, again, same story, 1 through 5 are go, and 6 through 7 are not. Okay, so what are those units that they said we're doing versus we're not doing? Well, here is the mechanics list. So if you recall, it said we are doing units 1 through 5. There they are. Whereas Unit 6, oscillations, and Unit 7, gravitation, we're getting rid of. All right, now if you're like, but those were my favorite units, they were even easy. Yeah, absolutely. However, they're also, comparatively speaking, sort of minor units. I think oscillation is really interesting. I like space and gravitation. But just because I like it doesn't mean that those are the ones that they're going to keep. So kinematics is in, Newton. So everything with forces and vector addition, that's all in. Work, energy. Okay, all right. So momentum and then rotation. So when we start reviewing, then we're going to focus in on those topics, and we're just going to entirely drop oscillation and gravitation. All right, now this one does make me a little sad. They said we're doing for electricity and magnetism basically just the electricity part. Oh, so no magnetic fields and no electromagnetism. And it makes me especially sad because electromagnetism really is it's the core of electricity and magnetism is where we talk about how electricity, meaning, current, makes magnetic fields. And magnetic fields also, or changing magnetic fields, make electric currents. Pretty much every modern appliance, gadget, everything depends on electromagnetism. Maybe I'm oversimplifying a little bit. There's plenty of other things out there like diodes that we won't talk about this whole year, but electromagnetism was a big one. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but whatever. That's what the AP said we're going to skip, and that was going to be a hard one to explain, I think, without some in-person contact. So in a certain sense, it's kind of a relief that they cut those out, because it was going to be really hard to do over the internet. So that means we're done with this. Did it, right? We did this one, and we are almost done with electric circuits. So there's 2 things that we are going to do with these in class, and that is we are going to do a lab. All right, I will explain how that's going to work in another video. But that'll be coming up very soon. And then the other thing that we are going to do is the test. So I want there to be a test on it, because we need to have a test on it. Because they say, still having the AP exams. So, yeah, so pretty much this week, since school technically starts Wednesday, this week we will get through the lab. And also the homeworks up to this point that you should have completed. I'll give you some, chances to, say, here are the ones that I have questions about, here are my specific questions, and I will make videos and give you feedback on that. But I do want to get through the lab today, or not today, this week, and we will have the circuits test sometime next week. Yep, so and at that point we will be done with the electricity and magnetism curriculum, since they cut out everything else. So we already talked about what units the College Board has removed from the AP Physics exams. What about reviewing for what's left? Because I'm sure you guys are thinking, oh yeah, mechanics. I remember doing that. It's been a little while. So what do we? Okay, so I was originally thinking that I would have to make a bunch of review videos, and or just say, all right, here's the list of problems we're doing, and I probably will still assign some old AP free response questions for practice. But as far as reviewing content, the AP said that they are providing, or the College Board rather, said that they are providing videos. So those will be sent to you from the College Board. Or rather, I will look through their list of videos and decide which ones I want to send you. And if I'm not happy with them, I'll make my own, but probably they're going to be decent since the AP is providing them themselves. So I imagine that material is going to be good, and I will simply share those with you. Also, on the College Board's website, in their sort of AP classroom section, which I haven't used all year because I didn't. I didn't use it all year. I will look at it and see, okay, what are the useful things on here that we can actually use. Since I can't do as much, in-person instruction. So it may well be that there's a lot of useful review that we can do from the AP classroom. All right, now, what about the different modifications to the exams, as my title up here may have implied there were going to be? So there will be no multiple choice section at all. That's going to be weird. We are in a strange situation here, but yeah, there's no multiple choice section on this year's exam. They said there will be a free response section, but I imagine it's going to look different. So I'm going to imagine for exam security stuff, they're going to have some, way to log in and take it online, but a lot of material will be sort of randomly generated. I don't know. That's just my guess. So it'll all ostensibly be about whatever particular topics, but everybody is going to get a slightly different exam. That's my guess. The AP has not said anything about exactly what that is going to look like yet. They did say that the duration of the exam will now be a mere 45 minutes. Now that's true for all classes. So I believe that's true. All exams are going to be 45 minutes. So it's a 45-minute free response section for all of your AP classes. So yeah, that'll be vastly shorter for many of your subjects, assuming that information is correct. All right, for a date, time, location. All right, well, the location's the easy one. That's going to be, I imagine, at home, unless something changes. Because, I don't know. I don't see any reason why they, in like early May, couldn't say, do it at school and, sanitize classrooms in between days. But probably it's going to be at home. I'm sure we'll talk about, the time of day when they also talk about the dates for it, but that information has not yet been released. They didn't tell me when that's going to be. For things like AP Studio Art, they released dates on that. So your portfolio is due on whatever day. But for every exam or every class that has an exam with it, they haven't released the dates. Those dates will be released on April 3rd. Your exams are not on April 3rd, to be very clear. They're telling us more information on April 3rd. So that's when we find out some more of this stuff. So I don't know if they're in communication with you guys or whether or not you're reading those, but that's the information I have up to this point. All right, I hope that was informative. Let me know if you have any questions that I may not have covered in this video, and I will try to get those straightened out for you. Thanks.